Welcome back to Absolute Nianema, the series that's supposed to be about Cinema Nights, but really it's just a series of broken monsters. I know I was supposed to do Lava next, and I know I said I was a woman of my word in that post, but honestly, I really want to talk about the operator known as Penis to my fellow Philos, Titi to anyone else because she really is just that interesting. Also helps that after seeing how the Lava Altar and Scene scripts turned out, I think we really need a positive video to buffer those two. And yes, I really do love Penis. I think she is one of the most well-designed operators we got in ages. Yes, she is better than Nasty to me because while Nasty is a very creatively fulfilling operator to use, Titi is just an amazing bridging operator because she fills the role of a backbone in a lot of niches and teams, and she does it without being OP, which makes her a massive markup in my books. Yes, you can say that makes her underwhelming, but fuck you and your negativity. I'm kicking my own pessimism to the curb for this video and bringing only sheer positivity because I fucking love everything about this AK equivalent of an gigaweeb, and I want you to understand that love. We've got lots to cover today, so we're going to skip the usual class rundown and character rundown, so we can just skip to what I mean by bridging operator. Well, she simply fulfills a lot of gaps and connects a lot of dots with her overall kit, and fulfills an interesting role in a lot of niches. By herself, she's a normal incantation medic, which may not reach the same explosive high as Reed Alter. She is using sleep in actually interesting ways, which I personally like already. Sleep as a CC has always floundered, to me at least, because it was strictly a worse stun alternative, as it looked out the ability to interact with that CC target outside of a few dedicated units. That said, I like it when sleep is given a reason to be used. For example, one of my favorite users of sleep before TT was Iris, who uses sleep in an incredibly cool way by turning her targets into delayed bombs. TT, on the other hand, uses it for stalling, just like Kefka does, but her talent, gives not only her sleep payoff, but all sleep users a real payoff. Frozen in Time not only allows her to attack sleeping enemies, but gives her a 15% attack bonus on stationary enemies. Note the usage of stationary and not blocked here, but also applies a dot to sleeping enemies of 30% of her attack as arts damage every second. Two things to break down here. The word stationary is really good here because stationary means not moving, which means she gets free damage buff to not only slept enemies, it's also blocked enemies, stunned enemies, frozen enemies, levitated enemies, and enemies who are just not moving. It's just free damage most of the time, which is great. The part I really like though is the sleep dot because it's not only global but works well with her skills. This gives a lot of underwhelming sleep operators a much needed oomph to their kit, and has an accidental fan of sleep nights. I really love it. While an operator like Eblana may not benefit from it the best since she has already obscene numbers on her sleep skill, operators like Iris, Blemishine, and Erato really appreciate that boost to their power, especially Erato, who has Besieger attack speed, and that's not the only win she gets this video, trust me. This talent is already a colossal win in my books, but then they decided to make her launch module affect this talent, and holy, it's fucking good. We're talking about a 15% bonus to her stationary damage and an extra 10% to her dot at mod 3, and this isn't even counting her mod 1, giving her more heal power, which is really important for a healer that's going to be in a mid-optimized team, a team that loves its vitality buffs. So yes, a mod 3 is essential. Frozen in Time manages with one little talent to make Sleep Knights feel better, and most importantly, makes Avario not feel like the odd one out in her own damn fucking niche, as long as we don't look at conviction. And good news for you Avario fans, she gets even more benefits with TT's second talent. TT's other talent is Courage's reward. It's kind of weird, but look, I really love that they took a note from my girl Palacio and let her be the other linchpin in a Minos Knight's identity by giving her a vitality buff, which then gives all the self-sustain and healing within the niche an actual payoff once again, which is not only just Palace, and not only that, it bridges both Minos and Sargon niches into one talent. Basically, while Minos and Sargon operators are above 50% HP, they're gonna get a plus 20% attack buff, which is simple, but powerful. You IS veterans would know what I mean here. This is just like really fucking good, because even if we just limit this talent scope to the minute side of things, Elara's DPS is massively improved. Pius can charge her crit S1 faster, which then helps min-max her talent's healing, which is a global heal for Minos members with mod Y. Vicarious S2 can stack his fat-ass barrier faster, and most importantly, more DPS and more healing for Titi, and the best part is, this goes hand in hand with Palus's Vitality buff, which is just attack buffs, which Titi can benefit from, because she is a Minos operator as well, which basically makes her the most powerful operator in the niche now. Basically, this talent is just my wet dream as a Minos Knights fan, and I know I play and I stand a lot of fucking niche knights. And you would know this throughout the series. It's not my fault that the concept of niche knights is just that fucking cool. Anyway, I do want to end this talent section by discussing a theoretical mod Y, because I am hoping that they will do a Mumu mod Y where it's designed specifically to fit her niche role than a general use. I really, got nothing to say here, but I think if TT's going to be the bridge that connects Sargon and Minos into one shared niche, I really hope it gives you further incentive to do so when they make that Model Y, without making the lore too much. That said, I think a Mod X will still be her best module, even with a Mod Y. The Mod Y will just be for enthusiasts, just like Mumu's Mod Y. Unfortunately, TT's first skill is a generic-ish skill, so we will just speed past this one so we can just get right into the meat of this actual skills. Anti-degradative is a simple attack boost, which gives her the chance to apply sleep. It has a weird uptime of 17 seconds, and there's really nothing else to note here. Both her S2 and SV are incredibly more interesting and worth using over this, and I would say this skill is the only luck mark on an otherwise pristine kit. The only thing I think that's worth noting about the skill is the fact that all her skills are related to history and artifacts, which makes sense. She is a historian and a museum curator. What I like is that it implies the sleep is her way of preserving these artifacts, which I think is just neat flavor. It's kind of like how techno summons are actually her puppets that she uses to dance and create art with. I just love little details like that reflects the operator's personality in the actual gameplay. Anyway, that's it for S1. Moving on. Our next skill is Sealant, and it's easily my favorite skill, mainly due to its applications in IS. Basically, TT stops attacking to channel a sleep aura around her and the ally with the lowest HP and range, which then amps up the sleep dot by a multiplier, which would normally piss me off, but these multipliers are actually good. By the way, the ally target who gets picked for this skill is also put to sleep, which is also good. Yes, they can't attack, but that sleep makes them basically invulnerable to enemies, so you basically get to preserve them to heal them up while channeling 2 fat areas of sleeping death. She does get a fat attack modifier too, but that's too much math, so let's just look at the modifiers real quick for the dot. Like, at skill level 7 is a 2.8x modifier, so with mod 3, which gives us a 40% dot, that's 112% dot while skill is up, and in M3, which has a modifier of 3.3, well, the dot becomes 132% while skill is up, which is a lot once we factor in the attack modifier as well of 180 in M3. I would also bring up the fact that this also modifies the stationary enemy modifier, but I don't think if this like channeling aura thing counts as attacking or not. There's also the fact that this also once again adds more oomph to your fellow sleep knights because the dot application is global. But who cares about that? Let's talk about why I love this skill in IS, because seriously, this is a game changer into a lot of bosses. Being able to generate 2 areas of effectively stole is amazing, and already, but like the fact that you can do a fat heal and preserve a fragile operator is great. One of my favorite uses for the skill is in IS6 ending 1, because TT can stall out and kill the fucking ghost G. I think it's G. I think that's G, or is it Yi? I think it's G. Yeah, it's fucking G. Fuck G. Sends with enough relics, but you can easily use this for annoying chat control on other bosses such as IS3 ending 4 and IS4 ending 1. You are probably wondering why I'm only showing the end screens for these ones, and that's because I'm not going to do 3 separate fucking IS ones for like a 5-second clip. The point is, I love TTS2. It's just so fucking good, and the only reason I don't use it more outside of IS is because her IS, well, her 3 is just better. History's Bloom is our final skill, and I love it because it's just like Reed's SV. It makes her into a genuine DPS, but unlike Reed SV, it still has roots in being a support and doesn't go like full tilt into DPS overkill. I feel like I'm throwing a lot of shots at Reed here, but seriously, I like Reed, okay? Even if Eblon is the better sister. This skill does get a little complicated, but the basic gist is we get an attack buff and the ability to attack 2 enemies at once, and if she attacks an enemy that isn't asleep, she will put them asleep to 5 seconds. All enemies awakening from sleep or defeated while slept take a fat damage tick and apply sleep to the nearby enemy. Where it gets fun is if an ally in range would receive lethal damage, they get put to sleep until, either they are fully healed or the skill ends. Basically, it's a more stable S2, which forgoes the oomph of its DPS and provides a budget Dreadnought protocol? Maybe better described as a budget paramedic second talent. The point is that I like it more than Sealant in general play because I think it strikes the best balance between her supportive and offensive capabilities. I'm not gonna give you the mastery rundown because I really do think if Titi is an M6 operator, it should be an SV into S2 priority. And the thing is, she is an M6 operator because both these skills are fucking amazing. In fact, fuck it, you probably can go M9 and it wouldn't even be a waste of resources, despite what I said about S1. But look, the only reason I haven't done my masteries yet for TT is because I'm doing a Tragedia detour right now. History's Bloom is a full, well-designed skill though, and I think it's the real cherry on the top for this rather perfect-looking parfait. That's basically my thoughts on TT. I think it's clear, but I really do love this cat, and I think it's befitting that she becomes besties with Palace in her event, because TT is just like Palace, the gold standard for niche knights focused operators. I always thought Palace is how you should design buffers, specifically sub DPS buffers, such as instructors, because it allows you to design very highly potent buffs by limiting their scope of application, and Palace did that while still fitting into the thematic of Minos Knights, which is self-sustained and healing, with the odd birds being Conviction and Erato. Ignoring Conviction because that's a joke, Erato never felt in place of the niche, being a sleep-focused operator with no aspects focused on sustain. Titi, despite being a Sargonian by birth, became the perfect bridge for Erato, adding sleep as an aspect to the Minos Knights niche, while still following the original focus of Minos Knights by being a medic. Yes, TT can stand by herself, and as highlighted earlier, she bridges a lot more than just Minos Knights. But what I just highlighted right now, that's what got me excited for her originally. The fact that they made a Sargonian, a sworn enemy of the Minos region, the operator to bridge their odd bird Erato, while still elevating the power of the niche, is great. I really think they hit a home run with TT, from her lore to her gameplay to her personality and how her character flavors her kit. TT is easily one of my favorite operators in the game, and honestly, I wish she wasn't a medic, because it's very hard enough to pick between Whispering and Basquella, so now throwing in this cat is just gonna make my life harder. Man, talking about TT makes me want to do that Pepe video I've been sitting on for a while. Maybe soon.